Dr. Mike and Devon Pinto. This is a little different because unlike all the other exit interviews that I've done, this is a two-person exit interview, so I go question to question kind of from each. The audio quality from Devon and Mike's side is not the best, so just forewarned, it's not the best. Some of the questions are really good though, so thank you for checking it out. And make sure that you checked out the other ones that I've done with Ben and also with Ryan and hopefully with Chrissy at some point, just trying to work out some scheduling with Chrissy to get that done. All right, pressing play on this podcast with Dr. Mike and Devon Pinto. Very excited. We have a 2-for-1 today. The 4th and 5th place finishers of Survivor, Heroes, Healers, and Hustlers. Dr. Mike and Devon Pinto. Guys, how you going?
Oh, what's up, mate? How's it?
Aussie.
Devon, I think Devon would get a lot more girls if he had Ryan's accent.
I think if there was some combination, Devon, see, I have a body that looks like Ryan, who you played with. So if there was some kind of combination, I think we would be the perfect person.
Maybe.
Thank you so much. This is such an interesting combination, you two on the line together. Mike, I just want to come straight to you. I've got to ask you, did you consider voting for Devon at the tribal council that you were voted off?
I'm just going to throw out there that in one sentence you use the word "come" and "straight" with a sex doctor. All right. Now I said to Ryan that I'm voting for Devon. See, who's interviewing who here, Ryan? Am I interviewing you? You know?
You take the control.
No, I said to Ryan, I'm voting for Devon. And I was planning to vote for Devon. And then I don't know what happened. I think the reality is that I overthought it, and I was worrying about the following vote, the following day at Tribal, where it was clear that if Devon stayed, but I voted for him, that they were all going to gang up against me. So I was betting that Ben did not have a third idol, but I should have known better.
Devon, on the flip side, you do vote for Dr. Mike. What convinced you to vote for Mike that night?
Well, the difference between Mike and my decision was Mike went with his brain and I went with my gut. That's what it came down to.
Yes.
I was cluttered with all these thoughts too. Oh, no, I shouldn't write down Mike's name. This could screw up my final 3 and everything. But my gut was telling me to write his name down. And so I went for it, charged it, and it, put me on top.
Yeah. Dr. Mike, I've got to ask you about your relationship with Joe in this game, because it started off where it looked like he wanted to get you out. He was saying that you had an idol. And by the end of it, you guys are this coconut alliance. You're running wild at the Statue of Liberty Tribal Council. What was can you describe what that relationship was like?
Sure. I mean, and you guys don't see half of how much fun it was out there with Coca. I mean, as Joe would say, game respects game. And so what Joe saw in the first minute of the game, at the marooning, there were only 2 people looking for the secret advantage, and that's Ryan and myself. Ryan finds it, but then Joe ends up on a tribe with me, and he's like, I can't have another player on this game, on my tribe. He's going to be a competitor of mine, and so I'm getting him out. And so he immediately comes after me. At the time, it absolutely sucked, but now, understanding what he did, once I became friends with him, I realized it was a great game move because Joe's a great player.
Yep.
You don't go out there. When you go out there, you think everybody's playing Survivor, but you don't realize that some people have ulterior motives. Joe was relishing maybe the fact that he's going to look like a supervillain on TV that first episode, and it's like, and that. You don't know how to deal with that. There's no training that goes into that. Now, that being said, Joe and I were stuck at a beach party for 9 days with 3 girls and Cole all cuddling with each other. And since Joe and I weren't going to cuddle with each other, we became friends. We weren't losing. We were just hanging out. It was like, they would bring out the gladiators to play on the jungle gyms. We'd win and we'd go back. We would just hang out for days and days and days. And formed a great bond.
Mike, can I ask you, because you guys didn't go to tribal council, do you feel like you would have been the first target on your tribe?
No, but I think if you ask 6 different people, if you ask all 6 of us, we would all think somebody else would have gone out.
Yeah.
And we'll never know. That's the amazing thing.
Devon, I want to come back to you. I got to ask you about your relationship with Ryan. It started really early. He showed you he had this day one advantage, and that kind of built a relationship. But we see that down the line, that relationship broke down. Can you talk about like forming a relationship with Ryan, then it breaking, and then coming back together?
Yeah, so Ryan and I, we had an awesome relationship. I mean, we connected on a strategic level to the point where we were masterminds at our tribe. You know, we had people thinking that him and I weren't close, and we were just each separately picking the other players' brains and figuring out exactly what was going on so that we would be in control of the game, and we were. But we also had a soul connection just because he's got an old soul and I do too. And so we were just good friends as well. And then when I found out he lied to me, all it takes is one lie, and then you don't know if anything else is truth coming out of someone's mouth. And that one lie did it, and I didn't trust him anymore. He didn't become my enemy, but I wasn't willing to let him know what I was doing. So we split up at that part, and then, you know, when the time was right, I realized I wanted to go to the final 3 with him because, you know, I felt like I had a shot, so I started working with him again. And, yeah, we're still great friends, and I think we'll always be good friends.
Devon, that's an interesting one. When you established this group of 4 with yourself, Lauren, and Ashley, and Ben, who was your top 3 at that stage? Did you feel like you wanted to go to the end with Lauren and Ashley, or did you still see Ryan as someone who could potentially swing in there and be that swing person to get you to 3?
I was looking at a final 5 with myself, Lauren, Ashley, Ryan, and Mike. That was the final 5 I wanted, and
Ben and Mike.
I didn't really. I you know, I felt like I could have gone to the final 3 with any of them and had a shot. So I was looking for that final 5, but you know, Ben's hidden immunity idols and Chrissy's challenge wins prevented that from happening.
Dr. Mike, I'm going to come back to you. You seem to be having so much fun out there, which I really just loved. I loved watching you play because you were just a fan who got to live his dream and had so much fun with it. When Joe left, what was your path to the end? How did you feel like you were going to get to the end? And then by getting to the end, how are you going to sell your story as someone who should be the ultimate sole survivor?
Sure. Well, I think you just heard it from Devon. You know, he had it looked like they had a final 4, they had a 4 alliance, but I was secretly a member of that alliance.
Yeah.
And, you know, I say secretly because I didn't know about Ben, but Ben didn't know about me either. And so there was, you know, that was my plan. And I knew, you know, and Devon knew that Joe needed to go out, that Ben needed to go out, that Laura needed to go out. Because the final 3 was probably Devon, Ashley, and myself. And at that point, you know, did I worry about what my speech would be? Sure, but my speech was going to be, look, we put 3 healers on the jury. You guys made strategic mistakes to take me with you. And at the first, you know, like I have a story because it's like Joe put me on the bottom, and I came back up and was at the top. They took Jessica out, put me on the bottom, and somehow I've come back up to be at the top. I've played a great social game with all these other people that you guys have gotten rid of, but now these people are now going to vote for me to win because they're pissed at you and they like me.
Yeah, Devon, I'll ask you one last one. You seem very happy and excited at the possibility of going to a fire-making challenge. Were you a bit disappointed that you weren't going to just go straight through and Chrissy wasn't going to take you, or did you relish the opportunity to battle Ben?
I mean, I was honored to go against Ben in the fire-making challenge. At the time, you know, just pumped to get to participate in that because I think that's just such a badass thing. I think it was the two best guys to go head to head in a fire making challenge. I was stoked.
Devon, thank you so much for the chat as well. Dr. Mike, thank you so much as well for chatting to me today. And Dr. Mike, while I've still got you as well, I'm almost 30 years old, Dr. Mike. When should I start seeing you?
You screen for prostate cancer starting at 50 with a blood test and a rectal exam in America, at least, unless you have a family history for prostate cancer. If you start having like sexual issues, like erection issues, then come see me sooner.
Okay, definitely. I will keep that in.
Drink some water, squeeze some lemon in your water.
I will do that. Thank you, Dr. Mike. To see you play and play very hard and to last 37 days, I was really, really pleased for you.
Right, thanks. And you asked me about living my dream. The answer is that I never gave up. And that's like, that's what made me feel so good about living my dream. Like, you wake up, like, every week, like every 3 days, it would not go my way. Even when I was in this alliance with these other people, it would seem like it's still not going perfectly my way. But you got to wake up, you got to reassess, and you got to move on with a new plan. And it's just, I think that's the, what I was so, like, when I look back at, like, what I'm so proud of is that, like, I just kept working for it and working for it. And eventually, it was just a dumb mistake on my part, which is, why I went out. And in future seasons, because they'll know about the fire making challenge, it really is going to change the game, because obviously if I did there's a fire making challenge at 4, clearly I would have voted for Devon, because then I don't have to worry about repercussions from the vote.
It's such a hard one, but I feel like, Survivor is a game where we look back and there's only one winner, and we're always going to have those, what should we have done in those scenarios, but I still think you should have been really, really proud of the game you played.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Mike. All the best.
Sure. Anytime. Take care.
The tribe spoke. Time for you to go.